Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at mono blue artifact tempo things. The core conceit of this deck is that we have two big spells that can produce artifacts in Urza's Command and Intrude on the Mind. We want to cost reduce these with Djinn so we can cast them more easily, and then we want to eventually kill the opponent with usually some mix of Haughty Djinns and Urza's Command constructs. We have a lot of ways to produce artifacts in this deck. Deduce produces an artifact, Arcane Proxy is an artifact, the Intrude on the Mind Thopter can also clock people and kill them. So all of that adds up to the constructs actually being a meaningful threat in the deck, which is nice, or it's neat. Also to support these two things doing their work, we have Arcane Proxy in the list, which I briefly mentioned. We mostly use it to flashback like deduces and considers, although a full-priced Arcane Proxy can flashback Urza's Command and Johan's Stopgap. Johan's Stopgap is a pretty unusual card for Constructed to play. We can leverage it fairly effectively because we do produce a bunch of tokens, mostly from Deduce. The play pattern we're looking for with Johan's Stopgap is like we have been deducing earlier in the game, maybe flashing it back with Arcane Proxy, and then we can feed one of those tokens to like bounce a Shieldred, draw a card, and get in for damage or whatever. So it has been doing surprisingly good work, or it's felt, you know, pretty good in the list. I've already mentioned it a bunch. Deduce is really good. You should be playing Deduce. It is kind of a Behold the Multiverse, that you can like split up drawing two cards across 4 mana. Except unlike Behold the Multiverse, you also get the token to work with, which we leverage to make the constructs bigger or feed into Johan's Stopgap or whatever, and yeah. Been very happy with the Deduce. It also gets cost reduced by Djinn, which is nice. It adds up. In the 1-drop slot, we have a bunch of protection for all our threats. We have 2 March of Swirling Mists, which we can use to phase out multiples of our things, or we can phase out a bunch of their stuff to produce a lethal attack, a bunch of their blockers. Same idea with Slip out the back, usually more defensively with Slip, or like we want to slip out Djinn and the constructs. We have 4 Fading Hopes as well, just for early or efficient interaction that we can use to, again, bounce Shieldreds or, I don't know, Godric or whatever. And we have 4 Considers. This is just important for like card velocity, ensuring we hit our land drops, getting an instant in the bin to scale up the Haughty Djinn. Yeah, it's handy. We have 2 Murexes in the mana base. It doesn't, or hasn't really come up yet, but theoretically being able to produce might tokens matters for our construct tokens. And that is more or less the deck. If you like the deck tech and like the gameplay and all that, like, subscribe, and etc. helps the channel a lot, and let's get on to some actual gameplay. Keep. This is a much better hand than the past couple in terms of just having stuff to do. So that's nice. Consider... Deduce. Hope we draw into stuff. If we don't, we can crack a clue. Our opponent mulls to 5, which is concerning. It's something. We're dealing with this garbage? We're just like toxic, okay. I'll take an Urza's Command. Our Arcane Proxy's kind of nice. Once again, I'm supposed to represent, I don't know, stuff. We do get a point of Toxic on us, which I don't love. Deduce. Experimental Augury from the opponent. That is not correct timing from them, or they're just having a, like, you cast a spell on my turn? No, I cast a spell on my turn type of moment. Stopgap. I kind of wish we had a Fading Hope or something. I think it's incorrect to let the Voidwing hybrid hit us again. Toxic requires combat damage, so the Urza's command is a meaningful bit of counterplay. Yeah, this is a little bit weird, but I don't know. Seems okay-ish. Forces them to recast it. All that stuff. Experimental Augury. They only have 2 lands on hand and are fishing for a land to develop more. Or that's my guess. I don't know if we actually win this, which is the annoying thing, or just like... Djinn helps. Quite a bit. They have to have 2 pieces of removal to punch past to slip out the back, so that's good for us, and if they're burning 2 pieces of removal on Djinn, they're not playing out the Voidwing hybrid. Don't think there's anything they have for 1 that would deal with it. We also fizzle Proliferate here, which is good. Djinn becomes a 4/5, it's going to be a 5/6 with dynamic power and toughness stuff. Distorted Curiosity, opponent draws 2. Feeling better about the game. Or like saving the Djinn there is pretty cool and good. Sorry, did I say 5/6, 5/5? Land. Are we doing anything with Proxy? I don't think so. We have Urza's command plus another slip to insulate the Djinn against removal. The construct can be really big once we start playing out like Arcane Proxy flashback to Deuce. Bonk. We let this happen. This also gives us Otawara, which is probably not relevant, but might matter. Mm-hmm. The Urza's command is really good against their deck. Maybe I should have thought about that more. Just the fact that we can blank Toxic so many times. I don't know if slips are good here. I don't know if we need more slips is the thing. Like having 1 slip is... Land, okay. Arcane Proxy prototype flashback the Deduce. Another Haughty Djinn. Seems okay. Attack for 8, have 2 blockers, point of Toxic. Haughty... Hit them for 8? They don't throw the Skull Dweller under stuff. So that's interesting. I think I'd like to hold up the slip. We take more Toxic here than I would like, but I'd like to hold up the slip and the Clue Crack. Because I think that gives us some nice options in terms of, this denies some damage. More Whispers of the Dross. Negate on the slip, okay. We have nothing else in hand, I will do this. Do we have Murex? That's annoying. That's very aggressive. They can have a Proliferate or something, or they can have another blocker. We have a Johan Stopgap in the graveyard that we can flash back with the Arcane Proxy. They are dead, effectively on board. Okay. That's nice. That's... feels good. I like that we can... I like being able to beat one of the worst decks that people continue to insist on playing for some reason. Full price Arcane Proxy, Urza's command. 0/0 Power Stone, we just get power and stuff to do a murder. Bing bong. You love to see it. Don't like this hand. It's not the worst. If they're developing early Fading Hope on 1 and then Arcane Proxy the Fading Hope on 3 is okay. Okay, or not, or they could just never play things out. That's cool too, I guess. Play something on 3. This sucks. I should have mulliganed this hand, I think. We can get some actual removal out of them? No? Graveyard Trespass are also very good against Arcane Proxy. The shift to Preacher of the Schism by a lot of decks is genuinely good for Arcane Proxy, or, yeah. It's a thing. We will play out Otawara, Soaring City. Shift tonight, because why wouldn't it shift tonight? This happens. There's a bonk. I honestly think I should have bitten the bullet and discarded a slip to Fading Hope it earlier, but it's definitely too late now. Construct. Do not need more slips right now. Don't especially need basics either, but one thing at a time. Never too late to correct a mistake. I mean, I guess we could chuck the deduce, or could have chucked the deduce and then cast it with a thing. I think Stopgap's probably good at this point in the game, or like is a way we tempo them out, so. Let's deduce and... I was gonna say see what we draw, but we know what we draw, so. We can feed the token into the Stopgap. The construct into the Stopgap. If we want to. Gumdrop Poisoner, we might be slipping out the construct. Or I guess that's not a play pattern until 5 and they're on 3 mana, so maybe not. No. We can also just pay retail for Stopgap, that's probably fine actually. Especially if we keep drawing lands. Pay retail, chuck a thing. If we burn that, that gives us an Arcane Proxy, which might be relevant for developing. We haven't hit any Djinns or other stuff, and that's awkward. Or we can Arcane Proxy, bounce it to hand, chuck the slip. Arcane Proxy, bounce it to hand, chuck stuff. Full retail, trespass. We have so many ways to play this turn, which is really weird and clunky. Intrude on the Mind is good. That is just a card. Johan Stopgap goes bye-bye. Things will be great when you're stopgapping. Sorry, I should double check what we have left before I do anything. Deduce Fading Hope. Arcane Proxy. Deduce. Another Intrude on the Mind. we can now block the Trespasser, finally. Maybe. Yeah, okay. So stuff happens. We can try to scale up with the Arcane Proxy, but then we're tapped out and can't protect anything. So I think we say no attacks end turn. We might be dummy blocking and then slipping. Proxy Fading Hope start killing them? I think that's better next turn. Or like, I don't know. Joke's on you, my mom packed me 2 protection spells. My fading hope. Okay. Violence. I guess we're going to lose the opportunity to do the neat party trick by doing that. But I also don't want to trade the construct, really, because it's all of our clock. 4, 5? We don't do any of that yet. 5, 6, 7, 9. So if they play out a Shieldred, that's bad for us. But the play pattern that we know they have access to is Gumdrop Poisoner, or like Crack the Food, Gumdrop Poisoner, target the construct. Are they not going to do the thing? Or are they doing it in response to the trigger, I guess? This feels like the most complicated way to play that card, but okay. And now, we intrude on the mind. Ooh. Chuck that, give me that, that's okay. If they do that, that's fine-ish. I don't know. Seems reasonable. So that's nice. For construct. Arcane Proxy. Full price Arcane Proxy, just flashback Intrude on the mind? That might be greedy, but that is fun greedy. That is interesting greedy. Wait, what? Oh god damn it, it's 4. I got it confused with Urza's command. Okay. That's a fairly bad punt. Woof. At least we can block the Graveyard Glutton. 2 pieces of removal leaves us dead. This is pretty good clock, but... I don't know. Hitting them for 9 just seems fun. Trespasser flips back up to Day's side. If they're playing out multiple pieces of removal, they're not playing out a Shieldred. This is fine. A small blessing to the Arcane Proxy punt, or like as far as that goes, is that we do at least have a way to trade. Do they have a... Oh, buddy. Oh, that's not the move. That is not the move. You know that I have slips in my deck. Oh, buddy, old pal, old friend, old opponent. Slip that poisoner. Intrude on the mind. Is this? I don't know. Bonk. They got so excited that they could that they didn't stop and think whether or not they should. Which I don't hate. I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, good games to the opponent. Sure. Nice proactive early hand, considering to deduce into Arcane Proxy, we actually curve for once. You'll love to see it. Green for the opponent. I'm just gonna do this now. Theoretically, they could play this thing second main, but yeah. Toss the island in the bin. Do stuff, we draw another island. I doubt we'll want to Fading Hope over Deduce, but maybe. Another green card for the opponent. Roaring Earth. Okay. Deduce into an Intrude on the mind, that's not too shabby. Let's Arcane Proxy that Deduce. And stuff to do, which is nice. If reverse is mono... Whoa! My MMR must be tanked, huh? This is what I get for losing to black constantly for, 4 days. Oh. That's kind of mean, but also, I mean... For opponent over here playing Kamigawa draft. Fading... I don't even know if Fading Hoping here is worthwhile. It's probably fine. This is actually a relevant card against our deck, which is kind of funny. I don't hate this just for... I kind of like Johan's Stopgap, especially with the kind of extra clues. Okay. Arcane Proxy. Yeah, we can consider the Stopgap into hand if we want. Augur of Autumn, there we go. There's a constructed card. Roaring Earth happens. I think, given that we have the Stopgap incoming, I just want to, like, crack a clue here. Maybe burning the Consider's fine. Even if we lose, like, a fractional bit of value. Or no, sorry, we do this, and then we get value out of the Surveil. Brain doing things. Toss that island. Draw another Intrude on the mind. Okay. Seems decent. I guess the Johan Stopgap could get sort of blown out by a protection spell, which they might have, but I don't know. Take a shot. Nope, no protection spell or anything. We draw into an Urza's Saga. So that's neat. Or sorry, an Urza's Command, not... God, if Urza's Saga was standard legal. Thinking. I bet you could print it into standard, because we have a lot less synergy points for it, and then it would just make decks like this better. No, it would probably still be a balancing problem, but I don't know. It would be interesting. Outland Liberator, but half my deck isn't artifacts. Outland Liberator, one of those cards that is actually good. Despite being, you know, random uncommon. Dum 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 dum. Urza's Command and Intrude. Well. I think we just chill and start intruding. Listen, I've just got to get into their head. Oh, fuck me. You work like that, right? Yeah, the card flow from Consider and... Listen, Stopgap's trying, or... Stopgap has... I have liked Stopgap. Sorry, I'm also just stalling here to be like, I think it's probably worth phasing out the Trap Breaker here, because they're not really doing interaction or anything. And I would like to have some options next turn. This does price us into doing the Urza's command, which is a little bit weird, but I don't know. I wish I'd remembered the night side on Trap Breaker, because it's really bad for us. Okay, Green Widow. I'm confused. Scry and draw? I'll take another Urza's command? Actually, weirdly, it's not the best for us right now, but it's something. Oh god, the phasing keeps it on nights. Wait, does that? I don't know. Nightbound, Daybound was a mistake. No attacks, we'll deal with it, I guess. Right, does flip back to... So we phase out the thing the Trap Breaker targets, or we slip the thing the Trap Breaker targets. Pardon me. Boseiju, I don't... It's weird to me... So much of their deck does not really matter to us. The Trap Breaker specifically is a really hard counter to our threat development, especially our non-Djinn threat development. So that's, like, weirdly frustrating. Green Widow happens. That is a good way to phrase... Yep. Sorry, just... To read out the thing, this deck looks like all the green cards that maybe look constructed playable if you squint hard enough. The unnatural growth is probably a problem. This happens. Kind of regretting that March now, but I don't know. I think we need to stall for a couple turns, which is a thing. Why would you not attack with the Trap Breaker? It kills the thing for free. Do this. We get the Djinn and a land. We have a blocker now. Thinking. Order block, I don't really want to... Sorry, it is trample too, so the decision is not like do something and then slip, it's do we want to trade stuff for it. 6 points of power toughness. 4, deal 2 to that, I don't know, sure. The backside of this is... Backside of it's not great, but also I don't really want them to just get stuff. This does make the construct worse, which is awkward. Clunky, but like, listen, we're figuring things out. Djinn will keep it from flipping to night. And then we can do an Intrude on the mind, and we can protect the Djinn with slips, and... we can breathe a little bit more now that we're not in the frenzied Trap Breaker hell loop. Branch, I guess, is awkward, but we have a turn or two to deal with that. Roaring Earth. Oops, all Roaring Earths. Djinn is a 2-turn clock if we're slipping Reachers. They can replay the Green Widow at some point. For 7. Thinking. -2 construct? I don't know if that is, like, totally sensible, but being able to just fully stall the unnatural growth for a second seems kind of nice. Seems like an okay use of a card. Also gives us a construct to work with. 7, Intrude, Slip. My turn, Deduce. Deduce. Do we just sorcery speed one of these? We lose some, like, surprise equity, but I think this might be correct. Mostly because being able to bounce the Branch of Boseiju is something. I don't really want the slip. Or, like, we have 2 slips in hand, so that's... Yeah, I don't know if that's a correct split, but... seems okay. We can do the thing again, of, like, kind of, blanking their turn. Blanking the unnatural growth doubling. 5-0 split does just give you a 5/5 artifact flyer. Like, 5-0 split can be legit. Stuff does not have trample. We can slip the branch into play straight defense. I think that's probably fine. It feels a little bit... It always feels weird to use slips on opponents' creatures, but I think that given where the game is at, this is just, like, fine and or correct. God damn it, they have the Bamboo Grove Archer too, which I did absolutely forget about. God damn it. I think we should have just considered before, probably. I'm pressing myself into a weird line here, which is awkward. I don't know that we can. It's clunky. Slip 2 blockers? 13... Oh! Slip 2 blockers! Edrico with the absolutely correct backseating. Listen, sometimes stuff is just cool and good, or sometimes the move is correct. We slip the Augur because we want to not give them additional value from the Liberator of, like, block, destroy something with the Liberator. I don't want to hover the Liberator and remind them that it has an ability. Or wait, sorry, was I supposed to... I was supposed to do it the other way? God damn it. How do things go? How do things work? Opponent forgetting that the Liberator has an ability. So, I got excited about the backseating, and then it was incorrect. But they do screw up and bail Edrico out. So yeah, the safer way to play that is, like... slip, just double slip, and then stall for a turn, hope they attack into us, do intrude value or something. Like, we can stall out in a safer way, but opponent goofs, and Outland Liberator, genuinely very strong card, especially versus decks like ours, but we're able to sneak it past to the opponent there. Just get by. And that's why I don't hover cards. Or I very specifically try not to in situations like that. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.